Tonight, quick thinking by a southwest woman saves a child's life.
And if she had gone overboard, she probably would have drowned.
Lucky escape after a truck rollover. And all the fun of the fair as the stars of the Brunswick show roll into town.
Live across Western Australia, GWN7 News with Noel Brunning.
Good evening. First tonight, a 25-year-old woman is being hailed a hero after saving the life of a 5-year-old girl who was rapidly drifting out to sea on a kayak. Police say if it wasn't for her quick thinking, the little girl might not have been so lucky.
25-year-old Joella Enders doesn't consider herself a hero, but what she did yesterday was simply heroic.
I wasn't really thinking that much. I think it was one of those moments where it was very instinctual, so I just had to act upon the situation and it just felt very natural to go out.
She didn't hesitate to help when a 5-year-old was drifting out to sea in Augusta at the Blackwood River mouth yesterday. Where the Blackwood River reaches the sea, there are no barriers to the open ocean, and that's exactly where Noima Sampson was drifting on a kayak.
She was very little and if she had gone overboard, she probably would have drowned. So it hit me a few hours after how serious it was.
One of the best things I've ever seen. Yeah, it was really good. It's great to have some people like that in the community.
I was just at work and a man came in and he was really distraught and just calling for help.
Joella doesn't have any formal training in surf life saving, but she still didn't hesitate to act.
It's like pulled my overalls off and I just had my bra on and I went in with my tights and just dropped my phone and my shoes and just started swimming out.
What Joella did wasn't an easy feat. She swam more than 500 metres to reach the 5-year-old who was quickly drifting out to sea on a strong current. Noima's mum Corrie told GWN7 News she considers it a blessing that Joella was there and she's thankful that she saved her daughter. And besides being shaken, scared and very cold when she came out of the water, Noima was back to her spirited self in no time and she's okay. Noima was in the care of a family friend when the emergency unfolded. Her mum says the scare hasn't affected their friendship.
Not putting any blame on anyone, but just be mindful of where your kids are at all times.
Kate Ryan, GWN7 News.
A teenage mother arrested over the death of her baby daughter has had the charge against her upgraded to murder. 18-year-old Cassandra Rose Dewan was originally charged with aggravated grievous bodily harm in May when her daughter Anastasia Hand was found unresponsive at their Capel home. The 4-month-old was taken to Princess Margaret Hospital but died 2 days later. Ms Dewan will reappear in court at the end of January next year. A truck driver had a lucky escape in the southwest today when his skip lorry flipped onto its side in the middle of the road. He escaped from the overturned truck by climbing through the back window of the cab.
There are some days you just shouldn't get out of bed. The driver of this truck's run of bad luck started early, just before 9 this morning, as he was driving to the premium All Sands industrial tip in Waroona. The skip bin fell off his truck and hit the road, sending industrial waste everywhere. That was the first bit of bad luck. Then, as he was trying to hoist the skip back onto the truck, his luck ran out again.
He was pulling the bin onto the truck, and all of a sudden the weight that was in one side of it had just flicked the truck over onto its side. So then we had the truck and the bin sitting on its side in the middle of the road.
St John's and the RAC rescue helicopter arrived at the scene. A paramedic checked out the driver, who only had minor injuries. It was decided the chopper wasn't needed and the man was taken from the scene by ambulance to Harvey Hospital. So he wasn't around to see the third bit of bad luck. When repair crews tried to restart the engine of the skip truck, this is what happened. The engine blew up, most likely writing the truck off completely. The road was closed in both directions so the cleanup could get underway.
The Shire will make sure that everything is gone. All the rubbish is gone.
Laura Thomas, GWN7 News.
The state government is trying to kickstart the Oakajee project again. The original plans for a $4 billion deep port north of Geraldton were mothballed 3 years ago. Now the government is working on a smaller, cheaper model.
The Minister for Regional Development was in Geraldton today for the Midwest Economic Summit. She said that while the region's economy has been in the doldrums, she had some good news. The government is dusting off the plans for the Oakajee Port project.
There are now some serious players getting together to look at the possibility of developing the magnetite deposits 500 kilometres to the east of Geraldton.
The multi-billion-dollar project was meant to create a port connecting iron ore mines in the Midwest with Asia. In 2009, the federal government allocated $339 million, but the project stalled. Now the Regional Development Minister says it could go ahead and be a lot cheaper.
The marine requirements are very much less, so it is financially possible. This much more modest project just might be something that really could work.
Oh, look, there's been some very high-level early stage talks with some operators around alternatives to Oakajee. You know, often building a seawall might not be the solution, perhaps a slurry pipeline.
But the minister was heavy on hints and light on detail, not willing to say who the big players are.
It's early days, but we think there is a serious prospect here, so we really want to. We've said to the Midwest Development Commission, you know, you've got to really focus on this project.
Laura Birch, GWN7 News.
Potato growers who had hoped to get millions of dollars in compensation now look set to walk away with just a few thousand. The government wants the 74 growers to divide up the $650,000 left in a fighting fund from their legal battle against Potato King Tony Galati.
All of those funds now, although they are legally the state's, we have made the decision to allow the potato growers to access those. This
week, the Potato Growers Association told its members to sign a legal deed with the government so they can get the money. Growers had hoped to get more than $5 million in compensation for losses incurred when Galati companies overproduced potatoes, driving prices down. But the legal action was stopped by the McGowan government. Final preparations are underway for Australia's biggest one-day agricultural show. The Live Lighter Brunswick show is on this Saturday, bringing thousands of people to the small southwest town, and today we went along for a sneak peek.
Since the first Brunswick show in 1931, the crowds have been growing every year. So organisers are hoping that Saturday's crowd will be huge.
Last year we had 15,500 people, so we're expecting to have a similar number this year.
And those coming along to the grounds will be getting involved in all sorts of fun.
It's all about agriculture, so there's an opportunity for our families and children to come and experience our stud cattle, our horses on display, our sheep, our trade cattle. It's a fabulous opportunity for families to get amongst it.
There'll be plenty of free entertainment and you'll be able to get up close to all kinds of farm animals. And as always, there is the iconic exposition pavilion, which this year is celebrating spring.
As families come in the gate, they could actually have full day's entertainment at no cost whatsoever, because we pride ourselves on having free entertainment all day, and we really showcase the local agricultural products and livestock for the show.
The famous Outback Bush Arena is back this year and will be bigger and better than ever before.
The Big Boys Sandpit will be in action all day with demonstrations of Caterpillar machinery and motorbikes, stunt riders and demonstrators.
And you can finish the night off with some live music and fireworks. The gates open on Saturday morning at 8:30. Bronnie McGovern, GWN7 News.
Heat north and rain south. Another day of weather in WA. Here's Shauna.
Thanks for that, Noel. A vast estate and a real mix of seasons. Now, moderate showers to the southwest corner as a front brushed past there today. Strong winds as well. Cape Leeuwin and Walpole had gusts of 91 kilometres an hour. For our north, a broad low over the Kimberley with a trough sitting down through here. You can see parts there of the interior. And we actually also had an extreme fire danger for the goldfields. Fitzroy Crossing, WA's hotspot, 44 degrees. We had 39 there for Derby, 33 in Broome. Look, again, some really big temperatures through the Pilbara. Port Hedland had this 43 and Karratha got to 41. Windy and dry in Carnarvon, 25. A maximum of 24 in Geraldton at 12:30, while the blustery westerlies have pushed over the Goldfields, 32 for Kalgoorlie. A mix of rain and sun to the south. Bunbury went from an overnight low of 16 to a high of 19. Albany reached 22. Our overnight low was 5 at Ayr, but a warm day east, 29 degrees there for Esperance. Rainfall till now this morning was well to that southwest corner, 7 millimetres, the highest official report for Dwelling Up, but through today, 14 mils recorded at Walpole. Now, a big thank you tonight to Blake, Mia and Bailey at St Lawrence's Primary, and our weather watchers in St Matthews were Quinn, Andrew and Gilliam. More weather right after sport.
Coming up, an avocado pioneer recognised for her 4 decades of work. Plus, the Goldfields Madam set to make her silver screen debut.
Stay in touch 24/7 with GWN7 News.
The state government has committed to upgrading a dangerous T-junction in the Midwest. This is just one of the many crashes which have happened on the Hoskin Street and Northwest Coastal Highway intersection. Last month, Main Roads asked the Geraldton community for their feedback and have finalised the plan for a 4-leg roundabout. It's been designed to accommodate a future dual carriageway on the Northwest Coastal Highway.
And it's also a heavy haulage route, and we do encourage people to slow down, and a roundabout is a significant way to go about that.
Construction will begin early next year. An avocado pioneer has taken out the top honours at this year's Telstra WA Businesswoman of the Year Awards. Manjimup woman Jennifer Francese's love of the green fruit saw her walk away with the award at Crown on Tuesday night. The award recognised her sustainable agriculture ecosystem and innovative technology. Jennifer has 4 decades in the avo industry.
I really do believe if we all work together and we all support together and we all stay positive, we can achieve absolutely anything.
Jennifer will head to Melbourne in November for the national awards. Cuesta Casa in Kalgoorlie is the oldest working brothel in Australia, known locally as the Pink House. It's the subject of a new documentary to be released next week.
Cuesta Casa is a Kalgoorlie landmark, and the Pink House has become something of an icon for the Goldfields and the Wild West. Its 7-year-old madam has been running it for 25 years.
Kalgoorlie was known for 3 things: gold, pubs and brothels. The gold is still here. Some of the pubs have fallen away and the brothels have mainly fallen away.
Cuesta Casa, meaning this house in Italian, has been servicing miners and other customers in the Kalgoorlie region since 1904. 113 years on, it's still a working brothel, but now gets most of its revenue from tourism.
The men will all fill the room, and I usually say to them, you know, if only you'd come at night. Could have been a whole different ball game.
Next week, a documentary about the brothel will be released. The film explores some pretty dark themes, including drug addiction, prostitution and murder. Years in the making, it shows the country's oldest brothel through the eyes of its protective madam and her troubled working girl, BJ.
Well, it's my job to make sure that the girl is safe, that she's happy, and that she's well looked after.
And Carmel isn't going anywhere.
Things have changed drastically since I first came here, but there hasn't been one day that I've ever regretted coming to Kalgoorlie.
Brendan Crew, GWN7 News.
To entertainment news now, and for a look at what's happening around the state, here's the boys from Hit FM Breakfast.
Hey, we're Ned and Josh, and you can catch us weekday mornings from 6 a.m. on Hit FM. We're down here at the playground because when we have an okay show in the morning, as a treat, I let Ned play on the playground.
Do you reckon we can go get an ice cream afterwards?
The show wasn't that good, mate. Absolutely not. Go on, go play. Here are some of the things happening across WA this weekend. On Saturday, the Albany Farmers Market will be on once again on Collie Street. From 8 in the morning, you'll be able to come along to these markets and check out everything like the freshest fruits, vegetables, farmed meat, dairy, cheese, fish, seafood, and much more.
The Harvey Dixon Rodeo Music and Camping Festival is back on again this year. The 2-day event is happening at Harvey Dixon's Country Music Centre and is starting this Friday and goes through till Sunday. So make sure you get your tickets online as soon as possible.
At the Goldfields Oasis this Saturday, the Jurassic Open Day will be on all day with free entry. It starts at 1 p.m. and goes through until 5 p.m. and will have free inflatables and a free outside slide.
Bring your dog to a dog's breakfast this Sunday at the Bob Davis Park for National Bird Week. The Lions Club will be putting on a free breakfast at 9:30 a.m, so bring your pooch to enjoy the bird talks, raffles, $1 nail clips, free dog dental checks and more. You'll need to have your dog on a leash.
This fantastic action movie starring Michael Keaton and Dylan O'Brien will be on at the Moonrise Cinema this Saturday. There are still tickets available for the 7 o'clock screening at the Walkington Amphitheatre, but be quick.
There'll be a Halloween party on at the Divers Tavern this Saturday with a performance from Misbehave and the School of Funk. It starts at 7 p.m. and goes through till late, and there's going to be giveaways and prizes given to those who come in theme.
Come on, matey, it's time to go. All right, come on.
Yeah, no, that's not built for me.
I don't think so. That's all from us this week.
The volleyball duo heading to the Nationals, that's coming up next in sport. Plus, West Coast take out the knives, making massive cuts to their lineup. In AFL news, the West Coast Eagles are on a delisting rampage, with some high flyers being cut ahead of next month's draft. Comes as the JLT Community Series fixtures are released, with Country WA missing out on playing host to the AFL's greats.
It's that time of year when AFL clubs get ruthless, and the West Coast Eagles have got the ball rolling, with many country footy players cut from the team in preparation for next month's draft. Northam's Sharad Wellingham and Broom's Josh Hill have both been dropped, and Kojonup's Tom Gorter has also been delisted after just 12 months on the rookie list. But in the Dockers camp, it's not all bad news, with former West Australian player Nathan Wilson traded back home from the GWS Giants in return for the Dockers' round 2 and round 4 draft picks.
Obviously stoked that it got done, and obviously the missus was crying, the family was crying, because obviously it's a dream come true to come play back home.
The Mandurah-born defender grew up playing with Docker Harley Bennell, and now the 24-year-old can't wait to work alongside the Pinjarra-born player and help him get through his constant injuries.
Just know that I'm here for his support. I know the club's been massive for that, but you know, he's got a shoulder he can lean on, and that's without the media being here and on his case.
And while next year's JLT Community Series teams are yet to be announced, the fixtures have been released, with the pre-season Western Derby set to be played at Joondalup's HBF Arena in March. But it's a big blow to Country WA. Last year, the Derby was held in Geraldton, but this season, not one match will be played in WA's regional towns. Emily Evans, GWN7 News.
2 Kalgoorlie girls have been selected to play for WA in the Pearls Volleyball Dream Team, representing the state in a national competition, and they're out for revenge against Victoria.
Tennille Ryan and Zara Verbol are Kalgoorlie locals, and these country girls are part of the Pearls, the state women's team that are aiming for gold.
We won gold a couple of years ago. Victoria snatched it off us the last 3 years, so we want to try and get it back off them. But we're a pretty young team, so just to improve as well, ready for the years to come, really.
The national competition is split up into 2 qualifying districts. WA takes on teams from South Australia and Victoria, while New South Wales, Queensland and the ACT battle it out for another spot in the finals. Tennille and Zala travel to Perth this week to help take on South Australia.
I feel really proud and probably privileged, but it's really good when you get to play in front of your home crowd. You have that support, you have your family that have helped you the whole way.
Living in the country has meant the girls have to work even harder for their spot in the team.
It is a bit harder. We don't train with the team, we train by ourselves if we can find location and time. And of course it's better having Zala up here, have someone else to train with.
Tennille says the close-knit volleyball community means that most of the contestants know each other and are friends, but that friendship has its limits.
Oh, no friends on the court, no friends, it's all competition on the court.
Brennan Crew, GWN7 News.
Shauna Willis joins us next for a look at your Friday forecast, and then ahead in 7 News. The death of a rock and roll pioneer. Now, Fuel Watch, keeping you informed on where to find the cheapest fuel prices where you live across WA. For a larger list of towns, check the Fuel Watch website online or phone 1300 304 054. Shauna has the weather now, and not a lot changing in the forecasts.
Thanks for that, Noel. The seasonal extremes are set to continue. Now, today's cold front weakening east overnight. Still some light showers are forecast to the west coast tomorrow, south of Jurien Bay, and then along that southern coastline. For our north, some late thundery showers in parts of the Kimberley. Into Saturday, another cold front sitting through here just off that southern coastline, but mainly light showers in it. They'll be reaching up the west coast to around south of Lancelin and through those southwestern districts, moving along parts of that south coast later. North of that, it's pretty much clear skies, although some evening thunderstorms are forecast once again for the Kimberley. And then ahead to Sunday, temperatures pushing up around to the mid-40s for parts of the north. Also a warming trend for the south as a high begins to develop. Clear skies after some morning showers to that very far southwest corner, and head to Monday. Look, just a little warmer. That high is going to start settling through here into the Bight, while the trough just starts to develop down here just off that west coast. And yes, some light thundery showers yet again to that far Kimberley, where it's hot and unsettled in parts tomorrow. Now 41 for Kununurra, 35 is the top there for Broome. Dry and windy in the Pilbara. Karatha's looking at 34 and 31 for Exmouth. Gusty southerlies for the Gascoyne, 24 the top in Carnarvon. A partly cloudy 22 in Geraldton. Now the slight chance of a coastal shower for the central west. Still a light shower or two further south of that. 19 is the top there in Bunbury. A cooler 17 for Albany. Gusty westerlies as well. Chance of rain for Northern, but otherwise partly cloudy for the Wheatbelt, 21 degrees in Merredin. Slight chance of a shower to the southeast coast. 20 is the top here tomorrow for Esperance. It's pretty much clear skies for the Goldfields, but winds still quite fresh. Kalgoorlie 24. Let's check the waters now. Strong wind warnings again have been issued off the Pilbara coast west. Also for Ningaloo, strong winds expected off the Lewin coast here tomorrow. They will be easing to fresh later on for waters there off Bunbury. Terrible boating for southern waters. Strong winds reaching gale force as we hit that Euclid coastline. A sunny 30 in Brisbane tomorrow. Afternoon showers. 32 is the top here you can see for Adelaide. It is rain for Perth, 20. And tonight, wishing Carol and Alan Parks of Narrogin a happy 60th wedding anniversary, and also to Kay and Frank Lewis of Mora. Congratulations and good night.
And that's the latest news, sport and weather to now. I'll have updates for you a little later on. Remember, you can stay in touch on social media and head over to GWN7.com.au for news at any time. 7 News from Perth is next from our team across the state. Good night, Western Australia.